There is a certain level of chaos in the United States right now. There is a lot of uncertainty based on tariffs, high prices, housing prices going up, rent going up, food prices going up, everyday essential items and basic necessities that people need to survive and just to live life that are constantly going up. The stores are raising their prices across the board. President Trump has already said that he wants Walmart as a company to actually eat the cost, and we just know that's not going to happen. So even though you may have an item that wasn't directly made in China or a different country, Walmart wants to kind of level the playing field with that. They don't want to just raise the price on one item. They kind of just want to raise prices across the board. Everyday essential items are going up. I was actually looking at prices of items that I purchased from December all the way through now, and you'll be surprised at the cost that some of those items are, even with toys. I'm going to see if I can insert that here. And it doesn't sound like a lot until it goes across the board and it's multiple items. People really just don't know what to do right now. We have grocery store prices that are increasing. You go into the store and you can't walk out with a buggy full anymore. I was just talking about that in another video. Those days are gone. I went into Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and insert these clips here in a second. And I'm going to show you how much a 4-pack of tissue costs at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to show you how much a 2-pack of paper towels costs at Dollar Tree. $5 for 4 rolls. $5 for 2 rolls of paper towels. This fan for almost $20, 20-inch fan at Dollar Tree. Y'all, promise I'm at Dollar Tree too. I don't see things getting better anytime soon, for sure. We want to stock up on those essential items. If you're at all able to do that, please do it, you guys, because prices are going to continue to go up. I think at this point, we're beyond the point of people are spending money recklessly and things like that. Like, I'm not saying that some people are not in the position that they're in from bad financial decisions and not being able to manage money and things like that. But a lot of people are just struggling right now because food is so high. Like, everything is going up. Like, insurances for a lot of people happen to be going up. You know, you're getting that rent increase that you weren't expecting. You're losing your job. Like, once you lose your job, so much happens. And it's not really easy to find a job depending on what field you're going in nowadays. It's not so easy. Even if you're able to find a job, it's probably not paying you what you're worth, or it's not even probably going to pay you that like a reasonable wage to keep yourself afloat. That's why so many people are getting 2 and 3 jobs and getting these gig jobs because they just can't stay afloat. And it's hard out here for people.
I'm so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
60% of Americans don't earn enough to afford basic costs of living. Stop calling it the bottom 60%. 60% is over 50%, which means it's the overwhelming majority of people in the United States that cannot afford a minimum quality of life. Now, a lot of people like to talk about the official unemployment rate being 4.2%, and they're like, oh, it's so low. But what they never talk about is the U.S. jobless rate is 24%. These are people who are considered functionally unemployed. That includes people who don't have jobs, people who have jobs but have poverty wages, which means they don't get paid enough to even be out of poverty, and people who are unable to find full-time employment because they're stuck in part-time jobs. And now those 60% of people who already can't make it to the minimum quality of life.
Some things you can do to save money: make sure that you get inventory of your home before you do like your weekly grocery shop. Make sure you inventory your home to see what you have. Make an actual meal plan, and you can make a meal plan based on your store sales. If they have certain meats like ground beef or chicken legs on sale, then plan your whole week, or at least your following week, around that, and just put that into rotation. I know some people skip like having meats in their meals, so they, skip a couple of nights a week having actual meat, and they'll do like a meatless Monday and things like that. You're gonna get a better bang for your buck if you shop multiple stores. Like if you have an Aldi in your area, if you have a Food Line in your area. Yes, Dollar Tree is going up in prices, as you just saw, $5 for toilet tissue, but you can still find some pretty good deals in there and things that you can add to your stockpile as well. If you have an area in your home where you can garden, whether that's a small patio space, or even if you have a window, if you just have small boxes that you can plant in, consider doing that, because that's going to like offset the cost of you spending so much money in the grocery store. Livestock, if you're able to do that, that's great. A lot of people are not able to do that for various reasons. If you're able to get a couple of chickens or something like that, you may consider doing that. Like some of those are dual purpose birds, as well as providing eggs, and that's going to cut your grocery store bill, pretty significantly. Also consider buying in bulk, depending on what the deals are. Again, you're going to have to sit down and work out prices and do price comparison, and it can take you a couple of days to do that, depending on how much time you have allocated to look at those papers and those sales. I know personally it can take me a couple of days to look at different flyers and store prices online and things like that in store, and write down everything to compare that. But anyways, I was saying you might want to consider shopping with a family member or a friend and cutting that cost in half. If you're going to Sam's and getting a pack of chicken breasts chicken breasts that costs about $30, consider going $15 and $15 and splitting that bag in half, and there you go, you each have multiple meals. Let me know how you're doing with food. Do you feel like you're able to afford food okay, or do you struggle? Have you cut back on the amount of meals that you're eating? Just let me know what you think about all of this. This is a lot to take in. This has been quite a year. I feel like, at least for myself, I'm so mentally drained, and it could be for multiple reasons, but this is definitely draining, the level of uncertainty with everything. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm stocking and preparing my home as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Living in America is so expensive, and it's not even living anymore. It's just a recurring subscription. You pay to live, you pay to work, you pay to eat, you pay to sleep. Rent, more than half your income. Groceries, doubled within a year. Gas, insurance, make money just to give it away. You're not living the dream. You're financing your own exhaustion. And their solution is budget better. Like you're out here buying Ferraris and filet mignon every single day, when in all reality, you're broke just buying basic needs. And here's the kicker: you do everything right. You go to school, you get the job, you play by the rules, and you're still barely hanging on. It's not your fault. The system was built by design. They want you broke, distracted, and grateful for crumbs, because a stressed, tired population doesn't rebel. It complies.